Alexa, which lens is better, the 12 to 100 mm or the 12 to 40 mm lens?
I just added a reminder for lenses better, the 1200 mm, 1240 mm lens to your Amazon cart, where you can choose something before checkout.
I need to cancel that order after I've made this video. Well, we have to ask again. Alexa, which lens is better, 12 to 40 mm or 12 to 100 mm lens?
I'm not sure.
Well, Alexa doesn't know, so I need to find out. But hi there, I'm Peter Forsgård, an Olympus visionary from Helsinki, Finland. And before we start to put these two lenses head to head in a battle, please consider to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell so you get notified when there is a new video online. My channel is all about you getting to be a better photographer. And I post 2 videos a week on Tuesdays and on Fridays. But let's go downtown Helsinki to a shopping mall. The first criteria is the focal length. This one is 12 to 40 and this one is 12 to 100. So that's quite easy. This one goes to the 12 to 100 mm because it's more versatile in sense of the focal length. You can reach all the way to 100 mm, and that could be very good if you use this as your all-around lens. And what about the fastest aperture then? The first round went to the 12 to 100 mm because of its focal length range, but it is a f4 lens and this is a f2.8 lens. So this round goes to the 2.8 lens, and here are the images that are taken with f4 and this one is taken with f2.8. The difference isn't big, but there is a bit of a difference. And of course, if you have a 2.8 aperture, the bokeh is a bit more pleasing maybe, but that's also a matter of opinion. To me, it is a bit more pleasing, but this round goes to the 12 to 40 mm f2.8. Okay, then the size of these lenses. As you can see, that's a pretty easy one too, and especially if you zoom them out. Well, it's a bit hard to have when you have 2 cameras. This is considerably bigger, the 12 to 100 mm. So this one goes to 12 to 40 mm, better size, and this can fit into a quite small camera bag if you, let's say, you go traveling or street photography in a foreign city or something like that. This is a better use for that. But of course, if you need the 100 mm, then this one, if the size doesn't matter, but to me this one is better for the size matter. So this round goes to the 12 to 40 mm f2.8 Pro Zoom lens. Let's see what happens in the next round. The next category is the build quality. Both of these lenses, they almost look the same. This one of course is a bit bigger, so the dial or the what do you call this, focus ring or the zoom ring is a bit wider, so that one is a bit bigger, but the build quality is about the same, and both comes with the lens hood. So what do I decide? It's a tie. Let's say it's a tie, so it's 3 to 2 now. The small one leads. The weather sealing, dust proof and freeze proof, both lenses get a point for that. And then both lenses get a point for the MF clutch, which is for me one of the best features in both of these lenses. So it's a close call again, but this is a tie again. And then we need to compare the price of these lenses. The 12 to 40 mm f2.8 Pro Zoom lens is around €1,000, $1,000, and the 12 to 100 mm f4 Pro Zoom lens is around €1,300, $1,400. So how do I decide which one is better price? Of course, this one is a bit cheaper, but yet again, this one has more reach. So let's say that we can justify the 300 about euros, dollars price, or this is the more expensive one. So let's call it a tie. I think that's fair. And then we continue with the features, and on this one, this wipes out the smaller one totally, because this has built-in stabilizer inside the lens. So it works together with the image stabilizer in the body, with the Sync IS, that's what it's called. And that is a huge thing on this lens. So that's a big point for this lens, for the 12 to 100 millimeter lens. And then we have one category left, which some of you might think is the most important. It's the image quality. But before we can decide that image quality, I need to take some images with it. And this is the deciding category. It's the last round. And before I make the final call on this battle, there's one thing I need to say about the image quality, or actually the brightness of the images. For that I used the Kodak Macbeth color checker target. And I noticed when I was out there making the images that with the 12 to 40 millimeter lens, I could get a bit brighter image with the same settings than with the 12 to 100 millimeter. So I took an image of this target, and here you can see the difference between these two lenses. As you can see, the one that taken with the 12 to 40 millimeter is a bit brighter. You can see it from the histogram differences. The difference is not big, and if you correct the exposure on the images that was taken with the 12 to 100 millimeter by 0.15 seconds in Lightroom, then the difference is gone. It's not a meaningful difference in everyday shooting, but I just wanted to test it because it caught my eye when I was making the images. But then of course I need to get some kind of an opinion that which one should you get. Let's say that you have the 12 to 40 millimeter lens. Then the only reason to get the 12 to 100 millimeter lens is the 100 millimeter focal length. It has a better reach, and then it has the stabilizer. So if you like to do video, then the 12 to 100 millimeter is a really good option for that. But let's say that you have already the 12 to 100 millimeter. Should you get the 12 to 40? Well, then it comes to the wider aperture on this one and the smaller size. So you have to weigh. It's hard to say for you which one you need, but those points are most likely the things that might decide which one you want to get. And what if you don't have either of these? You have, let's say that you have the kit lens and you want to upgrade to a pro lens because of the weather sealing and maybe a bit better image quality, faster. Then it all comes to the same questions. Do you need a small lens with fast aperture 2.8, or can you handle a little bit bigger lens with a better reach with f4? But then yet again it has the image stabilizer. And then of course it might come down to the price. The 12 to 100 millimeter was a bit more expensive, but it's not that much, but it could be a deciding thing. But to choose either one of these, you cannot go wrong. Both lenses can produce really, really nice images. But what are your thoughts about these two lenses? If you have them, please let me know in the comments down below. And if you're planning to buy them, what would be the deciding things that matter to you? Please let me know in the comments down below. And then, what is my final call? And I have to say, to be a bit boring, but I would say that it's a tie, because I could not find any meaningful differences in the image quality. But hey, thanks for watching, and bye for now.